Hello, everybody. Welcome to RGL Amateur Season 17 Grand Finals between Rapid Eye Movement and Black and Milds. I'm Arcadia, and with me is Zagron. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been away from casting for a year. Had some schedule changes that made it so I couldn't make it. But this one's on a Friday, and that's my one free day. So happy to be back and do a little 6v6 casting action. A bit out of the saddle right now, but hopefully I can get back in the groove of it.
Yeah, it should be an exciting one. So, to start us off, Rapid Eye Movement was the number 1 seed. They're 8-0 this season. Black and Milds is the number 3 seed. They're 6-2. So, we should be in for an interesting match tonight, but I'm not personally familiar with any of the players on either side, so
Yeah, that
I
would
don't
be
know what
the
to
the
expect.
case with an amateur grand finals, just from the perspective of people who don't necessarily pay more attention to the lower leagues. But these players definitely have worked hard all season to get to this point, so we'll see which of them able to come out on top tonight and claim that title. On the side of Rapid Eye Movement, we're going to be having Mark II on Scout, Robo Serrano on Pocket Scout, Vidhan on Roamer, DWW on Pocket Soldier, Synthral on Demo, and Fist on Medic.
For Black and Milds, we got Ozmeister on Flank, Earsy on Pocket Scout, Parkinson on Roamer, Caltonis on Pocket Soldier, Austin on Demo, and A Dozer on Medic.
Yeah, and since it's kind of hard to talk too much about the players when you're not too familiar, I do want to take a look at the pick and ban real quick. First map up is going to be Koth Bagel. We had bans of Gullywash and Clear Cut. Bagel was picked by Rapid Eye Movement. On the other side, Black and Milds took CP Snakewater as their pick. And if those go 1-1, our final tiebreaker will be CP Sultry, which I've never actually seen that map. Metalworks and Sunshine hitting the bench for this Grands. I'll be interested to see if it goes to Sultry, because that'll be fun casting on a map I've never seen before for a map 3 Grand Finals, but that'd be exciting.
Absolutely. And are you familiar with the recent config changes? So now we have best of 4, so there's not going to be a halftime in this Koth if that's something you're used to.
Best of 4, so they can tie at 2-2?
Or sorry, it's first to 4, I should
First of
say.
4, okay. Yeah, that makes more sense. So first of 4, no halftime, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. So no breaks, no interruption, unless there's a tactical pause, but
Or technical, those happen a lot.
indeed. But on Bagel, is this a map you're familiar with? Something you've played a lot?
Bagel's been played for a while. I've seen the higher level gameplay of it, and I do like this map a lot. I've actually pugged it a few times. This is one of my favorite Koth maps for competitive. That's coming from a Highlander player. I just really like Bagel.
Yeah, I agree. It's really fun, really action packed. I think you get to see a lot of the skill of the players. It's really a finesseful map for King of the Hill, I would say.
Yeah, a lot of shenanigans can go down on top of that point. The double layered high ground makes for some interesting interactions, and we do have all 12 in the server, so hopefully we'll be getting started here in just a bit. But really excited to see how this one turns out. And like I said, first match back after a while, being in grand finals, let's make it a good one.
Absolutely. I love to cast amateur. I mean, you never know what to expect with these games. Like, it can really go any way, and fights often last quite a long time and like go all the way to the bitter end, you know?
Dolphin, do we have predictions for this game? While we're waiting, we can get those up and see. I do see some arguing in the chat about who is going to be winning this one. Likely people in their own camps going to be supporting their side no matter what. But predictions are active. I'm interested to see what the people think, because like we mentioned at the intro, Rapid Eye Movement is the number 1 seed coming into it. So they, on paper, would be favored, as what I would expect.
Yeah, definitely. I think the only thing we can really say is like a name rating. I can say, do you have a name favorite
A
on either
name
side?
favorite.
Either a player or a team that you enjoy?
Well, I will say I'll be very happy if I get to make a joke about Parkinson this game. You know what kind.
Oh no.
That's a bit maybe a bit harsh, but it's just for the laughs at the end. I like Mark II as a name. It's kind of on like the simple but edgy side, but it's clean. It's simple.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm personally a medic player, by the way, so I'm always excited to see how these low-level medics perform, and each season it seems like amateur and newcomer players continue to raise the bar on how mechanically skilled their medics are and the strats they take on, so I'm excited to see that,
Yeah,
certainly.
that's gonna be something I'm interested in too, is because I haven't watched very much, like at least modern low level TF2 gameplay. We keep saying like low level. That's not like like saying something to like be mean or
Hardly a dig.
dismissive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more so just like these players are newer to the game. They're on the come up, and I'm interested to see what the mechanical quality looks like from players who are quote unquote new to the game at this point in the competitive lifespan. But we are going to be getting started here. Grand Finals of Amateur Season 17 on the way.
Yeah, this is the best of the best from the highest free division in RGL. This is season 17 Grand Finals.
Yep, we got black and miles on blue, rapid eye movement on red. Midfight going to be popping off. Both teams playing a bit passive just to start out, but Austin going to be walking forward, trying to find some spam across the point. Both scouts for the side of rapid eye movement playing very passive, just waiting for bombers it looks like, but none are going to come in. Teams are still just kind of posturing around. No one's really made a true engagement yet.
Everyone's chilling. They're fighting for the point here.
Ooh, big
Mark
rocket.
II is getting some significant time here, but they're just trading picks on the side. Robo Serrano's all the way through. Blue team has to back it up here. They're pretty low.
Yeah, it is just a soldier trade at the end of the day, but it is going to be rapid eye movement taking that first capture of the match. Going to be looking to play a bit passive as Black and Mild's going to be running forward onto the point, trying to get some capture time back in their favor. But look at Mark II taking the aggressive Uber, and Austin gets taken down before the retaliation came out. So great play. Let's see if they can get players out. What? Look at that in the middle of the Uber. Mark II picks up a second as well. That's going to be a big winning fight for Rem.
Yeah, they're going to lose their demo there, but they're super happy to trade the Ubers and just keep the point. Some long spawns, but just one. It's going to be completely fine. They take a commanding time lead here, but let's see what BM has to say about it.
Yeah, it's a big mistake from Adozer there to drop his demo man when the Uber's coming right at it. Mark II gonna be taken out in the back lines, but a trade onto that roamer in the meantime. So 5v5 contest on the midpoint. A lot of cap time coming in for B&M here as they're gonna flip the cap for the first time in the map.
Yeah, still one down for the side of BM. They're gonna get that player denied, so they'll wait quite a while for their soldier to roll out, and their med's actually gonna go low here. They're gonna have to back up and get healthy, and they're gonna lose one subsequently. So red is gonna retake the point. It looks
Huge
like,
rockets
but
there
they're
from
quite
Parkinson there, does tons of damage to back him off the point. Cap does flip in the meantime, but both medics at 100%. Now Parkinson with a high bomb trying to take some space. We'll get a rocket off, but just get back to safety. There is a numbers ad here for the side of B&M. It will be an even Uber trade in just a second, but Capture going to get nearly put across. Here's going to be the Uber straight up from REM, and they don't even have to do it yet. Adozer's all alone. Will get forced. A better Uber coming for REM now, and they're going to look for kills.
They do cap secretly behind the Uber. They're kind of on an island here. Interesting to see how this is going to unfold, but they did capture on the blue side here. It's just going to be a 5v5 fight straight up now. No Ubers on the table.
Yeah, better positioning now held by B&M as they do get the point back in their favor. Only 30-40 seconds in the disadvantage right now. They can easily negate that one with just a bit of a good hold coming out here. They're going to look to take the Demoman Synthro in here for a bit of spam, get the scout off the high ground. Still going to take control of the really good movement there from Earzy there to stay healthy.
Yeah, I like this aggression from both teams in the houses, but it's just kind of a stalemate on point in between. But red team's trying to take the
Earzy's left on
initiative.
an island, yeah, and he's going to get taken down immediately, so that's a man advantage for REM here as they get the cap flipped back in their favor, maintaining a slight time lead. Parkinson in the backline gets a pack, and being a bit of a nuisance here, but with two down, it's hard for B&M to really do something. Parkinson going to get chased down and cleaned up by Mark II, and another big fight win coming in for REM.
Yeah, every trade for the team that doesn't have the point generally tends to favor their spawns, so...
I like the aggressive play.
Yeah, this is nice. The Ubers are going to come out here.
A lot of flashes, and they can't flash everybody. That's a really heads-up play by REM there. Just take the fight directly into the opponent's face in the choke. They get a pick, they get the advantage Uber, and now they maintain control. Here's a sack coming from Caltonius, trying to find the medic pick, and he will get fist, but he will not get the medic, or he will get the medic, excuse me. And that's going to be a big pick coming in for B&M here, as they're going to try to keep players alive, kite it out, but just get back in there. They're trying to deal with some flankers, but Austin's going to get taken down.
Looks like Adozer's still maybe under some threat here. The flankers are coming in through house all the way into their spawn, but he's gonna live and maintain 40% adder, so still quite some disadvantage for them, so they're gonna have to do a lot with this Uber in order to catch up.
Trying to get aggressive on the medic, but gonna get cleaned up in the meantime, so counterpick not coming through, and it is basically a delayed ace for the side of B&M here, as they're gonna get the point flip back in their favor. Minute 20 in the disadvantage, but pretty much a full Uber at in their favor. They're gonna try and walk forward here and hold a bit in the enemy's lobby. I like the play. You need to get some picks, stall some time.
Absolutely. I think being aggressive here is absolutely within their favor. They want to see if they can use this Uber to kill their medic and take an Uber off the table for
DWW
red.
beeps his jump out. He's going to get taken very low, but here comes the sack in, trying to find that Uber force, and it's a draw!
Oh my goodness.
Synthro with big stickies there to get that kill on the opposing medic, and it costs 4, but REM is completely fine with that. They're going to now have full Uber add. One cap should do it for them. One fight win as they get their spawners up.
For those watching at home, that was a kind of classic play on King of the Hill. You send 4 men to sacrifice, call it a 4-man, and try to get that med force while keeping your own. So now they have a full ad on red side, hoping to use that to just take the point here nice and easily and close out the round. That's their idea.
Yep, and they're going to get a pick at the start as well. Parkinson going to get taken down. Mark II is a respawner though, so it is temporarily a 5v5 in the meantime. Going to extend the 5v5 with a good pick onto DWW, but right now the Uber needs to get forced out here if you are B&M, and they will force it. Got a couple players in a choke here, but there is a scout fight going on in the back lines. This one's going to be huge. Yerzy goes down in the meantime, and Ozmeister does as well. Mark II winning that one out, so no scouts for B&M here. They're going to clean up on the back lines. It's just a soldier and Parkinson looking for whatever he can find, but he will find nothing. There's the cap in over for REM, and with no Uber for B&M, this is going to have to be a last-second sack. I'm not even sure if they can get to the point in time.
Yeah, this is going to be an all-out sprint to get there. Here come Yerzy, and oh, they're going to go down early in house.
Austin gets a touch at least, but scout taken out in the meantime. Easy cleanup comes through, and that's REM with a round 1 victory. 30 seconds left on the clock. It was kind of close, but that big drop coming in onto Adozer by Synthro was the difference maker.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, just perfectly executed. Drop the stickies right in there. That's what you got to do.
Yep. Second mid coming out here. We'll see if REM can continue their win streak on their own map pick here. Would get them halfway to that win, and it will be another passive mid, looks like, from both sides. Yerzy gonna take a peek out on the point, but doesn't like what he sees. Actually, Parkinson, aggressive bomb forward, and does not turn out well. They will try and chase down a cleanup kill, but it's gonna be a 2-for-1 trade in favor of REM. Scout tries to get forward, but a huge pipe from Central, gonna deny Yerzy, and B&M only with 3 up, and no scouts have to back it up.
Yeah, I really respect. They're playing very disciplined, getting out, and generally respecting the other team's ability to chase them. So they preserve the Uber, the even Ubers here, so they can get back in and look to trade.
Ooh, big entry pick onto DWW there. That's going to be a man ad, flooding out this choke now, trying to push this demo man back, get those stickies out of the way. Big jump from Parkinson here to get some space. Will force that Uber out. Ado's going to pop in response. Can he save every player for the first time? Looks like it will be the case. No deaths right now for BM. They will lose Caltonis in the post, but Yerzy going to try and chase some down. Will not be the case. One man ad, but it looks like REM want to stick around because of it.
Yeah, they're just gonna collapse here, it looks like.
Big
but
pipe.
Parkinson's raining down rockets during all of this. They're both teams quite low.
Yerzy takes the demo and the med both so low they can't continue fighting. They're going to lose Adozer and Yerzy though. There's Robo Serrano with the flank coming in, picking up 2 cleanup kills, and there's a jump forward. Austin going down, and with Adozer dead as well, Fist going to have a big Uber ad on the point. 1 minute time lead, and they maintain control.
Wow, yeah, just kind of an all-out brawl for that point there. It was hard to tell where it was going mid-fight.
Yep, in the meantime, though, it's just going to be this Uber ad. It's going to have to be a sack forward from B&M here. They're going to be a minute in the time to decide. They need to get the Uber forced out of Fist here. Maybe a drop of their own to try and flip things back in their favor.
Yeah, it looks like a 4-man here. Caltonis is going to open it up. They're not going to really
they're not
commit
getting
in a
deep,
bomb.
so they have to go back. Scout for a soldier happening on the flank, and Ozmeister can't get that kill. Would have been big if he could, but still man ad in favor of REM. And with the Uber not being forced out, it's just going to be a wait for B&M till they get one of their own.
Yeah, Parkinson going low on the flank, but he's going to live and get a resupply here. But yeah, even Ubers, they're going to look to do some sort of exchange, but with so much time to set, they don't have very much flexibility.
It's going to cost him. You shouldn't do this as a demo, man. There's no backup, so he's just going to go down immediately. And now without a demo, the enemy team gets to walk in for free, no stickies in their face at all. Ados are going to pop that Uber. Good timing on it to not take too much damage. 1 HP save onto Vidhan coming out courtesy of Fist, and it will be 5v6 on the point in favor of B&M. We'll see who gets the cleanup.
Looks like Blue's just going to take the high ground and take the point. I mean, that's exactly what you want if you're on the side of BM. They have a lot of time to make up.
Off the mistake from Synthro, they will get their first cap of the round now on the board. Seeing what they can do. High bomb coming in from DWW here, but he's pushing no man's land. Second soldier coming in. Vidhan gets destroyed by Austin on his landing. And look, 1 HP on Fist. They can't quite get the last hit on that medic, but they're going to maintain control of the point, which is huge.
Just chaos all
Yeah, and
around.
Central's just
Everyone's
dead.
low.
No man's land.
There is a soldier behind for red, but he's gonna jump out. So far, only a couple kills traded, but red did sneakily take the point in all of that, so a little more time off the clock for them.
Yeah, Ozmeister trying to play big on the point here. He will get a cleanup kill onto DWW. Soldier trade coming out in the meantime. Will be recapture coming in for Rem here, but Uber jumping in. Everyone getting a flash except for Austin. Poor Austin does not get the flash in time. Will get taken down. Big find by Robostrano. Central with some stickies takes down Parkinson, and big fight win for REM coming in as they do maintain control for now. Scout trying to get some space in the point, but Mark II comes in with some help from Central. Take him down. It's just one Scout left with the medic, gonna have to back it up.
Yeah, absolutely. The Demo Man represents so much threat on this map. The ability to just control so much space. As I say that though, bombs through, gonna get 2. It's trades on both sides, but everyone's gonna go down for blue. It's just Yerzy here.
Yeah, that's the 2-0 start for REM here, halfway to that Bagel map win. And I want to take a moment to kind of point out the big thing that's happening that's between these two teams, that's the difference maker so far, is the Uber exchanges. REM gets aggressive on their Ubers, and they don't stack up on each other. They're taking one scout in or one demo in, and they're just getting a ton of damage down. Everyone else is off-angling, not taking return damage. B&M, every time there's an Uber exchange, there's 3 people or 4 people in the fray that are all at threat of death. And
absolutely.
Even though Adozer could be doing a better job flashing, you're making it so hard on your medic to get everyone safe. You're taking so much damage. Even if your medic flashes everyone, you're probably not winning the fight since you're all low, so...
Yeah, absolutely. That being said, this third mid here, 2-0 for the side of Rem. They have a commanding lead so far. Central leading the way here, just shooting spam across.
DWW is in deep,
Big
taking a 1v1 with Parkinson. No one going to go down in that exchange, but now with a soldier in the flank, BNW have to go in the back. Parkinson destroys himself on a rocket. He can't quite get to the back in time. So it's going to be man-ad now for REM as they're getting aggressive, stuck in the low ground. Uber force out, but they get the pick onto Vidon.
Fist is just now getting, so they're going to have a full Uber ad here, and with the point capture, they're in a dominant position.
Yeah, and DWW finally picked off in that back line. His nuisance making is no more. It will be now regression from B&M here. Still Uber for Fist, though, and REM. They're going to look to stall this. Don't let the cap go over when you have it. They are going to get on it just in time.
Yeah, as you were kind of saying, Central almost goes down there in the back, but yeah, they're going to use that Uber, survive, keep the point, run some more time off the clock.
Yep, Central trying to get some spam down, but taken so low, has to back up for heals. Mark II, in the meantime, barely stops the cap from going over. Great awareness by him, and still no cap at all for B&M. They will finally get it, pushing that scout off the point, but 1 minute in the lead is REM. One thing is 50% ad for Adozer here. If they can maintain player advantage, it will be a good pick from Ozmeister onto DWW on the flank there, so looking good for B&M, honestly.
Central just walked over 3 stickies and escaped with his life. So quite scary situation. But Adozer has the Uber still. Fist's only 30% away. They're going to opt to go through the lower route, but they still don't have, so they're quite susceptible to an aggressive use.
Oh, but look at this jump from Synth. Oh, big force coming through with the help of DWW, and they will get that Uber charge out of the enemy team. Fist already all the way back in the spawn gate. So yeah, it was kind of a fake push into a sack. They showed medic in doorway, and then the medic hit the S key. That's actually a play way better than I'd expect from an amateur
that was
team.
Pretty smart.
Yeah, they disguised their sack as a push. That was crazy. Because then the medic went forward thinking he'd have to Uber people in the doorway, but no. And so the medic was caught out. That's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Blue has some counterplay there, but they totally weren't prepared.
Yep, Uber does get forced out in the choke early, though. They get the pick onto Parkinson as a result, so 6v5 in favor of REM, but no Ubers. We'll see what happens on this point. Flank fight coming through. Ozmeister gets picked off. Robostrano is the trade. Big rocket coming through from Vidhan, taking down that medic, though. And now with heals on their side, it is a 3v3. Should be a win once they can get the scout and soldier buffed up. Should just walk at them. Caltonius will go down. Austin doing his best here, but in no man's land. Can he hit a fadeaway? No, and he will go down as well. Look at that, though. They're going to get a cap over. Parkinson just getting that one, and he gets a pick, too. Pretty good, honestly. They're in the time lead. Could be worse.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the spawns are going to be a little bit longer, but, you know, if I'm blue team, I'm looking to put some pressure on and get the time as low as possible so they can't make any mistakes.
Yep, aggressive jump here from DWW, trying to get some information, stuff some damage in that choke. And Vidhan with a flank as well, so Soldier's trying to make a sandwich here, and that's going to get them a pick. Coltonius goes down. Coltonus, rather.
Yeah, the Uber here for Fist, Adozer doesn't quite have it. If the teams are counting perfectly, they'll know, but most likely they suspect it's going to be even Ubers here. So
yeah, but look at how far back they're stuffed in their choke. Even if B&M get the Uber out here, it's not going to be fruitful at all. They need to get some space here. They will finally get out the door and pop the aggressive Uber. We'll see if they can save. Great flash on TWW, but same cannot be said on to Mark II. Will be a pick for B&M here as they look to spread out after this. They get Synthroll. Yerzy will be a trade, but look at the Soldier in the back. Kaltonis trying for the damage. One more rocket would do a ton. Here comes Ozmeister looking for cleanup. Another Soldier, and they do get the medic, but it's all they get. They don't actually get enough space out of the doorway, and they will lose that fight.
Yeah, blue team definitely had a good flank early, but Rem was just able to clean it up with their flank in the end. Like, they did get Synthroll, that was kind of their initial objective, but they weren't able to clean up the rest of the picks post-Uber fight.
Yeah, sometimes over-indexing into a medic who doesn't have Uber is not a good thing. You want to make sure you get enough kills to actually win the fight, but they really did just tunnel on that medic pick, and it cost them everything. So, gonna lose time lead a minute in the deficit now. Huge bomb over the top from DWW, but he gets denied. Synth, come in, looking for it! He gets him! What a pick by Synth! Fade away right before he goes down to find that medic pick, and that should be round securing, with Fist already back charging the next Uber.
Absolutely, yeah. 3 down, it's going to be really difficult for them to... Or sorry, vice versa. 3 down, it's going to take them a sec to regroup, but they should have this one in the bag with 80% Uber.
Yeah, they just need to take this one out with the full Uber ad, get some picks, and cap it for the 3-0. We'll see if they can do it. If you are B&M here, you need to get this kill early. They don't get the sneaky roamer pick or the roamer force. Parkinson goes down. Now walking to the point for free is REM. Scout jumping at Ozmeister looking for it, but can't land the scattergun shots. I get why they're doing this. They need to get this Uber dropped or forced or anything, but instead they get nothing. Point gets flipped, and they don't even force the Uber for it. So this one's pretty much over.
Yeah, absolutely. Here comes the Uber. Ados are not even close here. They're just going to clean house up.
Yep, flash everybody, make sure no one goes down, clean up the stragglers, just Parkinson on the point, and they will be securing this one very cleanly. It's just Ozmeister looking for something. They will take him down. Just Austin, but what can a Demoman do all by himself? There's a Soldier in the back line, though. Mark II gonna get the cleanup. It's Soldier v Scout, but they can't get there in time, and it will be the 3-0 lead for REM.
Yeah, so far pretty one-sided. I mean, these Ubers are just often going the way of REM.
Yeah, and to make it clear, that was another 30 seconds left on the timer. B&M aren't out of these rounds, but they're just getting outplayed in the Uber situation so much that it is the difference maker pretty much in every round.
Yeah.
And props to REM, they've done a lot of cool stuff that I would not have expected an amateur team to do at this point. But here comes potentially the last round of Bagel. 4 rounds is the winning mark here if they can get it. Another passive mid coming through, no one getting aggressive at all. Mirrors of mid number 1. We'll see if this one works out better for B&M. I don't think they've actually won a mid yet.
Yeah, here comes the big bomb for Red all the way behind. And they're trying to do some sort of pinch maneuver on the house. They're going to trade a ton of kills, but they're going to get 4. Wow.
Yeah, the bomb in the back is being really disruptive. It's delayed too, so there's not enough players to stall it. DWB cleans up the medic on the back out, so it's going to be mid-fight win, full Uber ad, looking pretty for REM here. And yeah, they just look better on the map, honestly. Like, their Uber exchanges are better, their mid-fights are better, and this is as expected of a number 1 seed, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely came prepared. You know, I love to see that. Just knowing what map you're playing, knowing a lot of strats for it, that's really impressive stuff for an amateur team.
B&M trying to get forward here, see what they can do. They want to force this Uber out. Big bomb coming through, but they're not going to get anything. DWW left on 1 HP, 4K for him, and Uber still unforced. So just going to be building in the spawn with the Boston Basher, trying to get the Uber. But look at this, there's actually stickies on the spawn gate. This is not what you want to see, but Synthroll, again, all alone, will get a scout for backup, actually, and he will make it out this time, so luckily for them, going to keep the Doman alive. In the meantime, trying to force the Uber once again out of main.
Yeah, it looks like they might just pop right in here. They're going to drop DWW, but it still looks great. Adozer is getting here.
Don't pop. If you pop here, it's done. Oh, no, they popped. They're not going to get... Okay, Vidhan's overextended, but it's just, can they get any kills or point pressure here? Mark II needs to get out. That guy's shiny. You can't shoot at him, so he will get out in the meantime. Devilman left on no man's land. Synthroid will get some kills just in time, but the point doesn't actually get flipped yet. No Uber means that they need to win these fights fair and square, but Mark II making a difference, taking out Ozmeister. Here comes a Solar Bomb. DW have a huge rocket into Earsy. Will get cleaned up in the meantime, but still point does not get flipped. REM does a great job defending with that scout flank in the end, gonna be able to maintain control.
Absolutely, just playing around their small numbers adds fights, trying to get, 2v1s wherever they can find them. It's really creative play.
Yeah, they're just playing in the enemy's faces, basically, and with REM stuffing them so early, even though the Uber comes and they get 2 kills, they can't actually make it to the point and get space in time, so numbers add doesn't really mean much when your positioning is that disadvantaged. It will now be lobby held by B&M here. Kaltonis trying to get out, trying to kill the Dome Man. They don't get him, but with the help of Ozmeister will. 1 for 1 so far, but Kaltonis and Austin will get taken down. It's numbers add for REM here. Parkinson, no man's land. Here comes Ozmeister, can't get the force. Mark II cleans him up. And that's going to be another failed force coming out of B&M here. The last 2 rounds went down to 30 seconds, but this one, it's not looking close.
Yeah, not looking so good. With the full Uber here, they're just going to get on time, but even if they do manage to secure this point, they got a long ways ahead of them still.
Kaltona is going down, picks off the flanking scout and a soldier. That's been a big thorn in their side, so that's a good one at the start. But better Uber for REM here. Let's see if they can kite out and get some picks. It's numbers add for B&M, but their health is not good at all. Soldier's doing big damage here. 1v1 coming through. It's going to be even trade in the meantime. 3v3 coming out on the point. Look at the scout v scout. Ozmeister trying to get the cleanup. Kaltonis comes in. Gets destroyed by Synthroid. Synthroid on the backline still being a nuisance. Shooting pipes, shooting stickies, but Ozmeister finally gets the cleanup kills. He'll get 1, he'll get 2, but Synthroid medic v demo. The melee comes out. Capture from Adozer. Soldier coming in to save the medic, and Adozer stays alive. First cap of the round for B&M here, but oh, it might be too far gone.
That's the magic they needed, though. That's definitely a start.
Yeah, it has to be perfect from here on out. No mistakes. They will have Uber at the very least, so we'll see what they can do with it.
Yeah, it looks like Rem might posture and do some kind of sack here, or they're just going to try to take the point away from them before the Ubers are on the table at all.
Yeah, DWW gets actually a kill with the help of Robosano there, so that's going to be a ton of frags coming in out of nowhere, it seems. Just really good off-angling, nothing coming through for B&M here. They just get destroyed on it, and that's going to be the 4-0 Bagel sweep.
Goodness gracious. I mean, they came prepared. They showed some stuff. That was really impressive stuff from Rem.
Yeah, and granted, first seed on their map pick, you would expect them to win, but I saw some really good things that I was really happy seeing from an amateur team, and they looked really dominant at some points, and in the points where they were being contested, they made good decisions, they made good play, and 4-0 is the result. So up 1 map, 1 step closer to that amateur title.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these logs. Hopefully get some insight into what's going wrong.
I mean, it just looks like it's an outplay on a macro level. I don't want to say that anyone's getting, like, hands diffed here in this game. I'm sure there's some mechanical errors, but it really seems like REM just knew exactly how to play that map, where they got aggressive when they needed to, they kited when they needed to, they disguised sacks as pushes. It was just a lot of good ideas coming through, and B&M were just really underprepared by comparison.
Oh my goodness, you really see some dominant stuff from Synthroid and DWW really putting the pain on them there. But both sides kind of even numbers all across the board, just a couple more kills for Red. Like you were saying.
Something I think is interesting is that the heal percentage, we see Austin's topping the charts, tanking Devilman in 6s is, from what I remember, it's not like teams can vary, but tanking Devilman is a very specific style where normally you'll tank a scout more, and that is the case over on REM where Mark II is getting tons of heals, Roboserrano taking none, so pocket scout gameplay very prevalent for them, and Synthroid is beneath his pocket soldiers, so we've seen him be alone a few times, which is a decision. Sometimes I'm sure it's part of their plan, sometimes I'm sure he's getting greedy, but either way, it's just a difference in how the teams are playing. In the end though, REM, their play and their preparation on the map was a difference maker, and they take the 4-0. We're going to be moving to B&M's pick of Snakewater next.
Yeah, I like Snakewater. This is one of the classic maps. I mean, super fun. I'm excited to see what BM has to say in response to kind of a brutal Koth experience that they just went through. What kind of adjustments would you look to be making if you're down 1-0 after a map like that?
I mean, A map like Snakewater is so different from Bagel that if you are B&M and you came into this match knowing that like this is your pick, enemy picked Bagel, you know, you may or may not be like as practiced on Bagel as them, probably not. You just hope that like you're better at playing Snakewater at this point, because I don't think at this point you can change anything. Like you can tell your Doman to not take as many heals. Like if they want to pocket Austin, so be it. You know, he needs support from his scouts when the enemy scouts start running at him, and your soldiers just need to make sure that they're off angling so that there's more things to shoot at than just your front force. But regardless, I really think it's just going to be down to if B&M are practiced enough on this map that they can like. Again, I don't think there's like a hands diff going on in the server per se. I really feel like strategies are going to come in and like preparation is going to come in much bigger here.
Definitely. I think that's interesting for an AM game. Usually there is one or two standout individuals, but both teams putting up pretty solid performances across the board. It's just a matter of coordination and team ability.
Yep, and if you are B&M here, this is last chance saloon. If you get taken down on your map pick here, that's it. Season's over. You come in second place, which is an achievement to be sure, but when the win is so close in front of you, one match away, be ashamed to end it here. So we'll see if they can make it through. But predictions up overwhelmingly in favor of REM, and after that last performance, I can understand why.
Absolutely. What are you predicting here? Are you in the predictions game? I love to make predictions.
I'm going to predict REM, and I don't think it's going to be too close from what I saw, because even if the maps are different, right, the fundamentals were just so solid for REM there. They knew how to take aggressive positioning. They knew what to do when on the back foot, and I just not see the same level out of B&M. The big thing, like the big eye test, is when you see B&M get Ubered on and 4 people start taking the same AoE, that's just a team that doesn't quite have their Uber understanding and like their defensive positioning all the way up to snuff. Because if you're taking all that damage in the initial bursts of an exchange, you're going to lose the exchange. It's already over. It doesn't matter if you flash everyone. It doesn't matter if you get even one kill on the back out. Taking that much damage and losing that much position is always going to be a loss.
Yeah, totally. I mean, at least on 5CP, you have a bit more opportunity to kind of move around and look for an advantageous position that maybe you're more comfortable in. Maybe they're more familiar with, you know, the landscape of Saw or something on Snakewater, and they have some different ideas. But otherwise, I completely agree. It's pretty difficult if your team is just getting kind of outmaneuvered and hit with splash. What can you do?
Yeah, it's going to have to be that map knowledge and that map preparation diff coming in. But in the meantime, we are waiting on the ready up. It is 6 in the server for both sides. If you are, you know, B&M here, you're definitely talking, making sure that all your ducks are in a row here. Because again, potentially your last map of the season.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything that you're typically looking for on a mid-fight here? What are you trying to watch?
From what I recall on Snakewater mid and 6s, teams like play upper in very different ways, where sometimes soldiers aggressively jump, sometimes they'll counter jump. But at the end of the day, whoever gets control of that upper logs area is going to have an overwhelming advantage. So I'm interested to see how B&M play it, how both teams play it, honestly, because we saw such passive mids on Bagel, but on this map, getting that high ground is such a difference maker. So we'll see who does what here as we are in game.
Yeah, being passive isn't an option here. Welcome to map 2. This is Snakewater. This is the RGL Season 17
early
AM
jump.
Grand
They want to get
Finals.
in deep. Already sacking on the medic. Early kill onto Fist. That's the difference maker you need. Adozer will go down as a trade, but it's everyone else. It's a 5-man for the medic trade. That's the classic right there.
Yeah,
but
not
yeah,
even a
B&M,
second
solid game
speed.
plan. They went aggressive, instantly got a medic, and caused chaos. That's perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the statement you need to make too. After getting defeated like that, just go all in and make stuff happen.
Yeah, I really like what they did there, and we'll see what can happen now. DWW is maintaining his spot in the backline here, trying to be a bit of a nuisance. Will get a kill, actually. Parkinson going in alone when he really didn't have to. Gonna be trapped out. Try to get a logs jump, can't get it. DWW will get cleaned up. In the meantime, other side of the map, we got a couple scouts capping up on the point here. Getting a bit of cap time, but just gonna wait for their team. They do have numbers add as it's a double spawn timer for DWW there on the back foot. B&M gonna look to walk forward, take control of Salk here, and see what they can do pressuring. It is uber disad for them just because Red Medic, I guess, started charging faster.
Yeah,
but
that
yeah, it will be
disruption from DWW. They took a little hit, but yeah, Fist is
Kaltonis
not that
is in no
close
man's
to
land.
Uber
He's gonna
here.
die.
Yeah, here comes the big bomb.
How did he not die?
Fist. He's gonna go down.
Yeah, big pick there. Osmeister just getting in the middle of the enemy team and taking that med down. Kaltonis gets his life saved in the end. High bomb coming through from a soldier looking for something, but Vidhan sees nothing. And that pick onto the medic from Osmeister is going to be the winning play of the point. So B&M get it, really no resistance.
Yeah, I mean, this should be around here. Full Uberad, no med. They already have a pick.
It should be around.
Yeah, if they can stuff this sentry and just get all the way through, this should be an easy round for them.
Yeah, level 2 built up behind the truck. In the meantime, B&M looking to just group up left side, and they haven't seen the sentry yet, but they're already really deep without even popping yet, so they will see the sentry gun. Austin takes that one down, and Uber gets popped out. We'll see if they can clean up some kills. EWW being a nuisance on this roof here, but Osmeister gets dropped in the middle of it. That is not good. That's a lot of deaths coming in for B&M, and they don't get anything. Heavy coming out from Mark 2 doing some damage, and they just get basically aced here on their push.
Oh
It does not go
yeah.
well at all.
Red really rotated fast through spawn to get out the other door and put up some resistance to the flank trying to get through the left side of Snakewater last.
I feel like B&M panicked a bit when they saw the sentry gun and popped Uber when they were really under no threat at all. It was just DWW on them, and they had someone counter jumping him on that silo, and throughout that entire time they didn't get a single lick of cap time. The way you pressure the defense in a situation like that is you Uber one scout through and just have them sit on the point. Make them collapse on the scout because then you can funnel them in and get kills, but they just got nothing as we saw. So now full Uberad in favor of REM here as they march through second and they're about to get mid. Kaltonis will go down in the meantime, so things have very quickly flipped in favor of REM.
Yeah, Adozer's just gonna build passively on bats with this pocket scout getting his team buff, but they're gonna have to pretty quickly leave here. Here comes the big bomb, just making space. They're gonna walk it right in.
Yep, and if you are B&M here, you need to force this Uber. You cannot allow them to take an Uber from second to last. They're second to last, basically, but they don't want to contest it. They don't want to send a sacker. They're just going to get all the way back. And Adozer does have 80% here, so they will at least get that, but no class swaps. They actually will get an engineer out, trying to build a sentry gun of their own. Yeah, I like the aggressive play because they know the enemy doesn't have Uber yet if they're counting. They're going to try and get a pick here. Osmeister can't get the sentry gun. Adozer's dead? Yeah. 99%? They knew he didn't have Uber. That was perfect.
That was really, really smart. And they're going to pop and just absorb so much damage with the invincibility, but they're going to drop so many players.
Yeah, it's just for Serrano. Not enough people get flashes or get good positioning, so both these teams showing struggles on the last push here, which, granted, the last push is very difficult, especially if you're an amateur team that has not that much experience, but... You know, either way, it's going to flip back. What a kill by Robo Serrano. Almost gets 2, but Kaltonis will get that cleanup. Here comes the bomb in. Kaltonis, no choice. No choice. I'll go out my own way.
Fist is fighting a heavy at last right now, but...
Yeah, Osmeister's there, though, on the heavy, so it's going to be hard for anyone to really get in. Scout now, Captain. See, this is what you do. You threaten them with the scout now because they're funneled. You go. That's exactly how you play it. This is why you send a scout to point, is because if you send a scout to point, everyone has to look at him, and then they're easy pickings. That's exactly why you send the scout to point.
There's no way to hide and spawn on this last. It's so far away from the point, and there's no way to jump quickly or make a quick contest.
Yeah, and even though their first last push doesn't go to plan, REM still with great micro plays to end up winning there. It seemed like some people were just doing some random stuff, wanted to be winning heavies, but in the end, they do everything they need to. Round 1 towards REM, midfight number 2. We did see B&M win their first mid of the match last round. They're going to try a similar play, high bomb in, but everyone's spread out. Much better position from REM this time.
Yeah, they're going to trade DWW for the life of Kaltonis and Osmeister, and they're just going to have to back up off that. This is really disciplined stuff. They're wise to keep the Uber and just play on bats. This is pretty nice gameplay out of an amateur team, I must say, although they are the cream of the crop.
Yeah, that was a fool me once moment where they fell for the aggressive bomb on the first mid, but after knowing what BM would do, REM made the adjustments. They didn't overgroup. They watched the skies, and there was no way in for the bomb of B&M. So now, contest happening on second. Both teams with Uber. A lot of damage coming through onto the side of B&M. They're going to have to pop this Uber. Fist still will get a pop in the end to try and save some players. Will be a soldier trade in the meantime. Scout v Scout happened on the other side, won by Osmeister. So numbers add in favor of B&M here, and I really don't want to see them give this up, but they will bomb back out, trying to do some damage onto the Medic Scout combo. Central in no man's land should get cleaned up here by the collapsing force. Will get taken down. Vidhan goes down, though, in the meantime, and Adozer's dead as well. Tons of kills coming in onto B&M. It's a 2v2 onto the point right now, but the heal advantage is overwhelming. They will win this fight in the end with Mark II getting that melee kill onto Earzy, and that was just a really clutch fight, clutch kiting out for the side of REM.
Yeah, I think totally like what you've been saying all along. It's like Red is so dominant at just splitting up B&M and forcing them into bad situations where A-Dozer is separated from his pocket scout, it's really difficult to fight off that sort of aggression once you're split up.
Yeah, it just feels like that's the closest thing to like a true hands diff I've seen in this moment. Where like, yes,
Yeah.
the positioning was better, but so much good movement coming out of rapid eye movement, not just their eyes moving rapidly. As they're gonna look to go into last here with a full Uber ad, gonna go through main. Demo Man bombing high, can get a flashback in. That's a really good play there to take all the space. B&M stuck on low ground here. Austin goes down. No one capping the point right now though, so no pressure coming through. Scout v scout happening. No one likes it. Gonna back off from both of it. It's 5v5. Parkinson will go down. Damage onto the point coming through from Central Stickies. Kaltonis in the backline, splitting up the medic, but will get cleaned up. No one can get the damage onto the point. Earzy is 1 HP. Here comes the soldier. 1 HP gets the kill hit on with a 2K. It's just a medic left, and REM plays that slow fight perfectly.
Oh my goodness, yeah. They really tried to just stand on the point, but it's so difficult when there's just bombs coming in.
I love Ubering. You jump your Devil Man onto the truck, force everyone back into the spawn, you give him a flash so he doesn't take damage, and then you hold the truck. That was great.
Yeah, absolutely. Just masterful area denial there. Another mid. This is 2-0 now. Looking to see maybe something new from B&M, but...
Yeah, do they have an answer to the defensive mid that really worked out for REM last time? Looks like their idea is not to jump, is just take high ground with both scouts, see what they can do with it, but now we're back to being passive, so no one wants to make the first move here. Ozmeister does have good control with Earzy here, but gonna have to go back to refresh their overheals in the meantime, and now aggression coming from REM.
Yeah, really playing patient on both sides. Parkinson's hardly moved out of kitchen.
Here comes the bomb. Going for it. Great denial coming out of the soldiers of B&M here. They're gonna get 2 kills. Man out for B&M here. Central gets cleaned up by that scout. That time, it was REM that got impatient. They got thoroughly punished. Huge air shot took that soldier out of the air.
Absolutely. Both soldiers go down for just a demo. It's pretty difficult to fight after that. Commitment. But even Ubers here, they're gonna get second. Maybe look to sack quickly while Red is still down. Not gonna
they
commit
shouldn't
to
sack it
anything.
because they know it's even Uber, so they should just take lobby and go for an Uber exchange. It's very unlikely you get a cap out unless you get a really, really good exchange at the start, so just take lobby, see if you can force the Uber and maintain space and control here.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. They're gonna set up the gun. Just a level 2
Look
so
at this
far.
Parkinson high bomb. I like trying to single up the Dome Man, but he doesn't get the rockets down. Good air movement by Synthroll to just bait that player out. That's essentially your sack player, so now you have to play defensively.
Yeah, and Kaltonis is actually getting chased and
You
gonna
cannot
go down.
get picked like that. Now you have to leave. You have to leave second entirely. Unless DWW feeds.
Yeah, they're trading way too quickly. I mean, Snakewater notoriously difficult to push out of, even with 2 players advantage, so I can kind of respect just throwing one quick back and then hopefully you get them up in time so that you're not at a serious disadvantage here, but it's going to be the same situation.
Yeah, look at
now
this sniper, double sniper swap. Both teams have swapped sniper. Parkinson versus Mark II. It'd be great if they saw each other here first.
Yeah,
and he does! Parkinson takes that win. And that's going to be a mad ad, but the sniper pick isn't the huge one, right? So you're looking to get some space, force them off these entrances if you're B&M here. See if you can get your sniper in for a bit more.
Yeah, that's just an opening to get to a better position, but still, Red can put a lot of spam on the sniper and make his life really difficult.
Onto Synth. He's low. He can't keep peeking this. He's only 100, but Ozmeister gonna get taken down on the side. Spam rockets coming in, but now Mandisad is B&M here. Sentry gun being put in the middle of last. I like the positioning by Roboserano taking aggro. But another kill from Parkinson onto the scout here, so maintaining the sniper dominance in the sniper position. We'll see if they can get a big entry onto this Demo Man or someone else.
Yeah, I think this is nice position. They're really gonna keep milking the Parkinson sniper, I guess, until they can figure out how to secure a round, but can be pretty difficult to push.
Yeah, they want to take him
with
into the
2
tunnel
players.
here, see if he can get a shot out. No one's quite on it yet. He's looking for a quick scope, doesn't get it, doesn't charge the shot, so now he has to back up. He can't just stay here. He's gonna stay here. He does get out just in time.
Yeah, without the element of surprise, it's a little more difficult to make the sniper work. Yeah, they're
gonna look for Synth
completely
again. They're leaving him open here, though. He could swing wide
He's
for
all
the
the way
scope, but he
to
sees
the
the sentry gun. He's the first one to spot that sentry gun, actually, but he will go down for his aggressive peek. So punished for his insolence, as now 2 go down. Ozmeister piped out, so does Kaltonis. They're just gonna bleed 3, and that should be an easy push-up for REM.
Yeah, this I mean, it's always tricky, but you're going to be able to see all three in front here and take the point right away. They're actually going to try for the exchange. I kind of respect this as a bold play.
If they can get out here, this is a good play. But there is a Vidhan sitting behind them, trying to block the doorway. I love the play.
They're going to take him out, actually. This is
I like
kind
the
of a
idea, but
precarious
yeah, it's dangerous
situation.
now. They want to get the cap up and at least force the enemy to retake it. It's going to be a big jump from Kaltonis with the help of Earzy doing some damage, and they will maintain the control of the point. Central caught on the doorway, can't quite get out of there, and it will be a successful defense of the second for now. And two-man ad coming in for B&M here. This is a good chance, but the engineer pick stayed, so Robosorno still has this level 3.
Yeah, that's going to be difficult for them to take out.
Yeah, and it's going to get a kill.
Yeah.
They finally will go down. Austin pipes it down, but we'll see if he can get more. They're trying to look in here. It is small man advantage, and they will get Vidhan trying to look for this medic here.
This is going to go down. They're going to get everyone.
DWW, Earzy, big 2K with the help of Aussie, and they're going to get the cap, it looks like. Just Mark 2 on the heavy. What can the Brass Beast do? He can't even get there. He's too slow. And B&M fires back with their first round of these Grand Finals.
Wow. I mean, really impressive stuff. What do you think went right there for B&M?
I mean, they just played the second contest really good. When they had 3-man up, I was surprised they would stay in, but the second I saw that, like, they're going for the exchange, I'm like, okay, this could work. I was really scared when Vidhan was sitting behind him, but they turned, they killed him, and they got their support, so they just played that exchange really well.
Yeah, totally. Excited to see another mid here. Synthral's going to be aggressive early.
Yeah, so far we've seen aggression work for B&M, we've seen being passive work for B&M, so we'll see what they want to do this mid.
A-Dozer's going to play on the catwalk. I'm not sure if that's new, but I'm pretty sure it is. Parkinson's going to walk across and try to take
It's going to sort of trade, actually. So 5v5 coming through. High ground now held by neither team. No one wants it. Here's a bomb out from the Soldier trying to look in the back line. We'll get into Saw safely. That's a dangerous threat going to be in the meantime. And they're going to get punished with it. There's DWW. He faked the flank through Saw, came back out, and got a huge 3K.
Yeah, I mean, that was space created, absolutely. Red Team Rem was just able to run right across point after that DWW bomb.
Such a good play to fake the flank through Saw. They see you jumping through the doorway, and they're like, he's going to flank through Saw, guys. Look for that. And then they just don't expect you to walk back out. This should be a snowball straight through. It's full Uber. They're still in their spawn doors.
Yeah, I mean, this is over pretty much, but maybe if they can get all 6 players to fight this, maybe they could get a drop or some miracle.
They're all going to die to sticky bombs here if they stay.
Yeah, here comes the Uber. They're going to flash everyone, and it just looks like a massacre, but they're just hiding in spawn.
Not actually getting the kills. They get 1, but lose 2 in the meantime. Point getting capped up. It's looking good. B&M, they get the kite. Yeah, B&M used the spawn doors to their advantage. A couple people bandy binded and got full HP refills. It's so hard to actually kill people when they can do that.
Absolutely.
So, even though they were
needed that
up,
threat.
They didn't take the damage.
Yeah, they needed that threat on cap, like you've been saying. I mean, they can get infinite health and ammo and spawn. They never need it.
The big mistake was when they were Ubering in, they flashed 2 players instead of letting 1 cap. If their scout was 2xing, then B&M don't have the time to do that.
Absolutely. If they take that on their demo, kind of trap the spawn, like, then they're completely locked. It's really difficult.
Spy pick from Vidhan. That's strange. It doesn't get anything. It will be a 2-for-2 somehow, but it will be fighting on the side, Parkinson versus Robo Serrano, and Robo going to win that one. Robo's flanking now. Kaltonis trying to make space, but he can't get anything. Here's Robo enforcing the Uber all by himself and getting out scot-free.
Yeah, I mean, that's tough. If you lose the flank 1v1, that's TF2.
Yeah. And now full Uber ad for Fist once again. They didn't get the win in this exact same scenario before, but they'll have another crack at it.
Yeah, I'd like to see something different from them here. They've kind of tried a couple of the same things. We haven't really seen a lower push yet, I feel like. And that might...
They did one time.
Did they once?
I think they did it, but they lost it, but that was right after where they made the solo plays and won. But either way, it looks like they want to go with the shutter this time. I'm going to take the Uber out. Parkinson spots it, gets out of dodge. In the meantime, they have players on the point. They want to get this demo man sticky so they can start capping it up. Parkinson will jump on the point, do some damage to Synthro. Here comes Vidhan with the big damage. Sticky's not popped still, but the kill's coming through in favor of REM here. It's just a heavy, trying to do some defense on the flank. Can't quite get the tracking, but there's Austin with the stickies. Here comes Earzy, getting some cleanup onto Robo Serrano, and just a demo man left. Sticky's gonna catch him out. Just don't dead him, he can't leave. Synthro will go down in no man's land, and that was a really good defense once again from B&M.
Yeah, that was really clutch from Ozmeister on the heavy and Earzy on the scout, just kind of cleaning up the fight and being a real nuisance.
Yeah, Austin stayed alive as well, got a bunch of damage, helped them out, so really good by him. And now B&M trying to recapture their second here. Need the team with Uber, but control of their lobby for now. Earzy wants to peek out. Robo Serrano being a bit of a nuisance and cleans up Parkinson. That low HP soldier does not get heals in time. Kaltonis trying to face, but can't take down the Mark II. Will go down in the meantime. And now it's in big numbers add in favor of REM here, trying to push in immediately, get Austin back onto the point, and he's trapped. If they just collapse on this Demo Man, it'd be huge. Austin will go down, so will Ozmeister, and that should be the third round. Just Earzy, but nothing doing for him. 3-1 in favor of REM.
Yeah, I really love the flank play from REM. They continue to pose really difficult challenges for B&M to solve, and they're just not able to in a lot of situations. Robo Serrano and DWW just kind of running wild, like big bombs and flanks.
Yeah, the play
really...
through cheese was just so good because
absolutely
it just puts pressure on this offense that's now stuck in lobby, being shot from like 2 or 3 different spaces. So
yeah,
they get a couple picks from it and they get the round out of it. So another mid, this one must win, and it's aggressive mid coming out of REM. Immediately get Austin, but it's a 1-for-1 trade. In the meantime, they have Vidhon in behind.
There's a bit of a pinch happening here on point. Red's just gonna go down to the double soldiers
Here comes
behind.
Vidhon, though. Surely they know he's behind still. One rocket.
Ooh, nice
can't
shot.
find the second. Can't find the third. Can't find the fourth.
Oh,
the Robo Serrano does. He's in there with the cleanup.
And we're gonna get the point, but
yeah,
only
the
soldiers.
5 for medic classic that we saw in round 1 comes back, but it will be fast respawn for Fist, getting get charging pretty quickly, so it'll be at least uber ad for REM here, but B&M does win their second mid.
Yeah, pretty small, only about 20% out of here.
Yeah, it's their third mid
yeah.
out of 5. So they're actually winning record on the mids.
That being said, Red's gonna make their entry right away.
Fist here. That's an interesting one. He's charging it very quickly, so he knows that because he died first, he'll have a very big crits window. So this can't get checked because no spy has seen it. So in the meantime, there's a chance that B&M get very caught out by this crits because they're not expecting it right now.
This. Yeah, this is gonna be nice. Absolutely.
He can't see it. He's not close enough.
Here it is.
They don't see it. Oh, that's a great snipe onto Austin. They don't find the medic though. They really want an A-laser, but they will at least get another kill out of it. Parkinson going down, but Fist is dead as well. That's the downside of the crits. No shiny medic. It means you're vulnerable, and the flanker is going to take him down. So Kaltonis not going to be too mad about that one. But in the meantime, Cap does come out for REM.
The stall was actually pretty good because with the Demo Man down...
Wait! They were not expecting the scout to be there immediately, and because of that, they're just going to lose. Wow. That's a great sneaky play. I didn't see which scout that was, who just snuck into the point immediately and just made them turn around, but sometimes the unexpected flank is the deadliest, and that's just going to get them the 4-1. So now one more round is all they need.
Objective-based gaming tends to be very successful in the lower divisions, and you're kind of seeing it on full display tonight.
Yeah, one more round for REM, and they are your amateur victors coming through here. We'll see if they can get something going on this mid-fight. Very quick round. That was the fastest round we've seen so far out of all of them. Aggressive bomb once again coming in, trying to find the medic, but Fist, amazing movement to dodge out of these players and gonna stay alive. That was amazing from Fist.
Yeah, what a dominant mid. Oh my goodness.
That was crazy, actually. That's some of the best medic movement I've seen in a while.
You really get to see amateur players have improved significantly, and there are some really skilled individuals who are just starting playing.
Yeah, and server kind of starting a bit here, but we are just going to get the mid-fight capping through. We paused? Something's happened.
No, I think there was just maybe some end lag.
Yeah, some lag after that fight ended, and it will be full Uberad here for Fist and REM here. Free second cap coming through as well. Earzy's on the spy. They know they need a miracle here, B&M.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, if not spy or sniper.
Why is he low HP? Does he have a kunai on?
I think so.
Why does he have a kunai on?
The spree, I guess. We'll see.
He's gonna go. I mean, he might find a straggling soldier, but he might jump as well. Yep, I knew it! I knew it! I've had that happen to me so many times. It's full Uber in. There's no one who can contest this. They will get Vidhon and Synthroll, though. 3 players alive. It's just Austin that can make a difference here. He will... Oh, he surfs it out pretty well, but will go down. It's just Kaltonis on 1 HP. Oh, gets an arrow! Can he live?
Comes
no!
the recommit.
And that's gonna be it. It's gonna be REM as your amateur Season 17 Grand Finalist winners. They are gonna be winning the crown here tonight.
Yeah, congratulations to REM. That was a really dominant victory on both maps. They brought some interesting strategies, and they had a lot of creative stuff on show tonight.
Yeah, I'm so happy. I knew when I saw that kunai that could happen. I've had that happen so many times to me. When you're playing Spy on like low HP, you never want to do it because a rocket jump kills you. You see that soldier running up to the door frame, and you're like, he's gonna jump on, isn't he?
Yeah,
That was
just not
funny.
quite fast enough.
That was a funny ending, but yeah, really props to REM there. They played a very, very phenomenal match and dominant win in the end. They dropped a single round the entire way through, but it was on their opponent's map pick, and yeah, they're just really clean with it.
Yeah, I don't think you could really ask for anything else on REM. Really dominant stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, B&M gonna go home with second place tonight, but still a respectable season under their belts. 3-1 in the playoffs is still a great record.
Yep. First place is not meant for everybody, only the victors, and REM gonna be taking that one home. Hopefully we see them move up as a team and continue their RGL journey as they take on more and more tough opponents. But yeah, I was just really impressed by them overall tonight, and it was a fun one.
I think we'll try to get some winners interviews in here tonight, but we'll see who's going to be coming over. Some logs for us to look at here. I mean, kind of more of the same, honestly. DWW and Central just putting the Bane.
Yeah, I mean, definitely played well on REM. The logs in a situation like this, that it's a steamroll, don't tell you too much of the story because, like,
No.
it really is just like an overall macro difference between the teams at this point. Like, yes, there were phenomenal plays being made by REM, but I really feel like they just understood the game tonight better and played to a higher ceiling as a team. And yeah, that's why it was so one-sided.
Yeah, I think, you know, we saw bringing out the Kritzkrieg and bringing out a lot of different Uber strategies and on the Bagel map.
The Bagel map. I love the Bagel map. Mark II taking 33% of the heals on that one, so heavy pocket scout gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, to focus in on a medic a bit, I mean, really impressive stuff from Fist all night, especially towards the end there in Snake Water. Some clutch plays to just close it out.
Yeah, I was very happy with his gameplay.
Medic is kind of like a goalie class. Is like, as long as you don't mess up.
Well, it's a class when they're playing well, it's hard to notice, but when they're playing bad, everyone notices. But that said, you can still make some really great plays, and we saw Fist make those tonight when he needed to.
Definitely.
And so, are we getting the interviews, Dolphin, potentially, or no?
Yeah, it looks like we got
Hello?
3 players in here. We have DWW, hello.
What's
Fist
up, guys?
and Synthroll getting unmuted here as they're joining in.
Yo, what's good, squad?
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
Amazing.
It feels so good, you know?
It was a really fun season.
Winning. After I've been a failure my whole life in this game, you know? Feels good to finally actually get a first place and prove my friends wrong that doubted me.
Yeah, he's got a lot of haters. It's kind of evil.
Yeah, I did see some very impressive gameplay coming through from you guys overall. I want to start things out on Bagel, which was your map pick. The one big thing I noticed I wanted to ask about is your Uber exchanges, because both teams kind of played that map passively for the start until things popped off hard. In Uber exchanges, I noticed you guys were getting ahead of the curve a lot. You played aggressive really well. You spread out, didn't take damage. On the other side, B&M were taking tons of damage in their exchanges. Did you notice that? And did you decide to play off that as your main win condition?
Yeah, basically that's been our plan the whole season, especially for Koth. We like taking the exchanges on our terms where they won't expect it, and they'll also be uncomfortable for posts. So like they'll be out of position and such, and we have like more of the space for us to work with for the post. And it also catches them off guard, especially their med, which resulted them in dropping their demo or a scout per se every time because they're just caught off guard.
Is MK here? Where is he?
Doesn't seem like it.
What the hell?
I respect a lot of the planning, though. A lot of interesting insight coming out from you here. What sort of preparation goes into both Bagel and I assume Snakewater as well? It seemed like you all were very well prepared for both of these maps.
We just scrimmed a lot, like all season. We also sometimes kind of just tried out a lot of new things in scrims to see what would work and what wouldn't work, trying to like figure out what kind of best strategies we have in game.
I see.
Yep. I noticed something from watching you guys play and also seeing the logs at the end to confirm it. But you guys, speaking of Mark II, I noticed you guys were playing a very heavy pocket scout style where he was taking between like 30 and even 33% of the heals. And as a result, both your soldiers were free to kind of make whatever plays they want. How do you guys decide that you want your soldiers to be like both free playmakers and just assume that your scout alone will be fine with your medic, your soldiers will make the plays to win the game? Because DWW, you specifically played so aggressively when you saw the openings.
Wait,
Well, I think our whole team style really revolves around our scout because he definitely has the DM of like one of the best DMs of all the scouts in AM. So we kind of revolve around playing around him because since he has such good aim, DM, and movement, he's able to like get players weak, and because of that, players will scatter, try to get Pags or Kite in positions where they can get an arrow, and because of that, that gives a lot of space for our soldiers to have free reign over the entire map, which allows them to bomb them and land on them, or take space for free because of it.
Very cool. And moving on to Snakewater, I noticed you guys got caught off guard a bit by the first mid of B&M where they made that really aggressive play after playing all of Bagel very passively. What was your response to that?
we actually originally wanted to double bomb, but we kind of went too slow. Like, we wanted to double bomb as well, but I waited too long to go, and that kind of just like fucked us up, and they ended up just getting a really good bomb off.
Yeah, after
But,
that first mid, we made an adaptation because we had this planned. Because usually our snake mids, every time we use scrim, we usually always lose them. And a plan we made is that whenever they would double bomb, our pocket soldier Vidhan would just play on the stairs, like on the right. And when they bomb, I would just kite myself towards Saw, and then they'll land, as they're trying to land on me, Vidhan and MK will just kill them. Or if they fade, we told our demo to just be ready to surf their rockets if they fade to land on him, which will usually happen all the time. And then once they're dead, I just walk out, and then we have the 2 soldier picks.
Seemed to be pretty successful, yeah.
Speaking of MK here, he has joined the Mumble even though he's not on the UI on stream. So hello. I wanted to ask you in general, how did that match feel for you? Because I was seeing you take the beam and destroy people all the time.
I don't know if he does it at work one more.
He's here.
He just downloaded it.
I just downloaded it.
I also just downloaded it.
Yeah, he's on.
You might have a push to talk.
Hopefully my levels are fine.
Is it because all you new teams scrim in Discord?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
No one uses Mumble.
Yeah.
That's heresy to me. Back in the day, everyone's like, Mumble or nothing. Discord bad audio quality. We didn't do it, but that's funny. Either way, that question can wait a bit. Bit more of a general question. Now that you guys have won amateur together, you put up such a dominant performance. What are your plans going forward?
Right now, we're not really sure. It's kind of just up in the air. So, your mic isn't even working.
What?
Oh, never mind. I thought you were saying.
There you go. It's working now.
Yeah. Yeah, we're kind of just like, I don't know, DW has a lot of prospects because of his impactful gameplay, and the rest of us are just uncertain. A lot of us have like school and work and stuff, but
Yeah,
probably some of us are
last
gonna
season.
stay together.
I see. Well, if that's the case, that was definitely a good last hurrah for the team.
Yeah.
Bro, there is a plane about to crash into your house, bro.
What?
Dude, there's like a plane about to crash into you. You good?
Is my mic tweaking?
Dude, I don't know. We heard the plane. Like,
Oh,
so far up in the sky, bro.
my bad.
Can't believe he wins grand finals while at the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have to catch a flight.
Hello. Sorry. Is my mic working now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah. In general, I think it's sorry. It's funny that we ended up playing against Black and Milds like in the grand finals because Parkinson, their soldier on the other team, was actually on our team. He was a roamer for NC, and then on the move up, he was supposed to be in Japan, and then he just said no, I'm not going to do that for study abroad. So he went and made his own team. So I think it's kind of funny that Parkinson's was able to make like 2 pretty like winning rosters, like good GM, you know. But in general, I think when it comes to like this game, and I know that generally speaking, like a lot of the NC and like AM players, like whether or not TF2 is their first competitive game or like they're coming from other things, like I've played Overwatch at a pretty high level, and coming back to TF2, I always wanted to play it, but I just knew that the skill ceiling was like so high that I would basically have to climb like a pretty crazy ladder. And after college, just kind of wanted something to stay competitive. So I'm Unk, but I just like improving, and I think the idea of space in a team fighting game like Overwatch like translates really well to TF2. So like Pocket Scout, it's like, I mean, I love it and hate it sometimes, but overall it's pretty fun.
Definitely cool to hear. And I do want to give you guys open the floor for a second. So that thing about Parkinson was very interesting, knowing that this was maybe not a grudge match, but just kind of like a match with two teams that have like a history, you know, puts the
We're like
implications. All friends, yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely cool. Just to
Like,
be
it's like
playing
all
against,
love.
being against your guys in the grand finals. No matter who wins,
Yeah.
it's all love in the end.
Like, there's like a pug server we have that we all play with each other like all the time. Like we're like all friends. It's really funny.
That's definitely very cool.
Yeah.
If you guys have any shout outs or, other things you want to say to the people who supported you, or, to people in general.
Shout out my parents and my older brothers, and then like a lot of people that were on the Advanced Team Quake community.
Yep.
Or whatever. Quake
Live.
Quake Live. There we go. That one.
Yep, that one.
Am I audible?
And like
Yes.
all my Saxon Hill friends, everyone that plays Unturned,
Yeah.
and
Don't forget that.
my roommates.
And I'll shout out Pops.
Yeah, shout out Pops.
Yeah,
Pops
shout out-
player.
Shout
Aura.
out Quake. Shout out Pooh Scrim. Shout out Ugg Scrim. Except
Uh,
Bill Clip. Shout out
uh,
Cormy, and then shout out my friends from EGC Trade Server from like 5 years ago.
I'm gonna shout out our old medic who held it down for the first couple of weeks, QTKQ, enjoying
Oh
his life
my
in nature
God.
right now. My fucking go. Sorry, no, it's swear. And I'll shout out IDK, our goated roster
our
rider.
our forever roster writer.
That's my goat. He's actually on a plane right now. He's not seeing it.
Maybe he's on the plane above Central's house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe,
maybe.
bro.
All right. Well, that's all well and good. So thank you all for coming for this interview. Once again, congratulations, REM, winners of
Thank
Season
you.
17 Amateur. And no matter where you go next, whether some of you stay together or split apart, wish you luck on your journey in the game. Hope to see
Thank
more
Thank you
of
so
you.
much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
thank
Have a good
having me.
night.
Yep.
Have a good night.
Thank you for
Have a
coming.
great
Thank you for the cast.
Thank
It was
you.
sick.
Yep.
GG's, guys.
See you
Yeah,
guys.
great game.
GG.
GG's.
All right. And now just back to the old gang. Just us three.
Yeah, that pretty much wraps us up for tonight. You have any shout outs? I
Shout out
definitely
Alt, though, in Dallas right now. I'm actually going to go to see him on Sunday. We're meeting in person for, I think, the 4th time overall. 4th or 5th,
Have
I
fun.
forgot. Yeah, will be a lot of fun. We'll send dolphin pictures, maybe.
For me, I gotta shout out my division admins, Popa, Trev, and Yomo for sure. Obviously, Kitty, all the Sixes team, thank you very much for another fantastic season. Shout out to Dolphin, obviously, on the production. Beautiful work tonight, all week. That's it for me.
Yep. Thank you all for coming out to this RGL Amateur Season 17 Grand Finals. Very fun Grand Finals. Hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you back next season for some more. Dolphin, anything I need to shout out here? Cups.
Cups.
The
Player
HL
Cups.
Newcomer Cup? Got any graphics for those? Because the doc just says HL Newcomer Cup ! Hey, we got that.
It's on the
Newcomer
screen.
Cup number
Yeah.
2, May 3rd to 5th. Registration closes on April 7th. It's already closed, I guess. So all the registrations closed for that one. So stick around for the HL Newcomer Cup. Probably gonna be a very fun time at the start of May. Also, the Sixes Experimental Cup running the same weekend, I believe. That's the 3rd through 5th. And it looks like you still have some time to register for that one. So if you liked what you saw here tonight, this is the amateur division. So even if you find yourself an amateur as well, feel free to sign up, have some fun in the Experimental Cup coming up soon.
You get to try out some new and interesting maps, I believe.
Definitely. Well, that's going to about do it for us here tonight. So, from me, Arcadia, and Dolphin behind the camera, as always, thank you all for watching, and come back for some more TF2 when we got it. Thank you and good night.
Cheers.